understood what my life would be. Now I take a peek back, look at all I see. From rhyming, producing the life that I'm choosing. Oh Lord, been blessed with
my boy, Stilz, motherfucker. Get it, boy. Yes, sir. Please come to the front of the stage and rock with me. I promise you, you won't regret it. Let's go. Go ahead and drop that, DJ Sci-Fi.
Right here.
We started real quick. We had just vibe one more.
I had a fan just the other day. Never met this chick in my life. Hit me up on Facebook and tell me that my music got her through one of the toughest times in her life. I'm going through one of the toughest times in my life. So for somebody to tell me that at one, it just blew my fucking mind, and it made me realize that God does have a bigger plan for me. All the bullshit that's going on around me, all the bullshit that's going around you, don't pay attention to that shit. Whatever you do, do it. Don't let nobody define who you are, because you are who you are, and do what you're meant to do and be who you're meant to be. That's all I gotta say. What's going down? Super producer Stilz Uniqe, and just wanted to share with y'all a little bit of my past, a little bit of my present, and a little bit of my future. What I've done, what I'm doing, and where I'm going. So let's get it started. What's good? It's your boy Stilz Uniqe, handing out flyers.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Stilz Uniqe, handing out flyers. Oh, you want to come to a show?
Yo, what's good? Troy, say something.
What's good? It's your boy Stilz Uniqe, handing out demos and flyers at my school. We're here at Metro, downtown Denver, getting it in. You know what to do, baby.
Hey, yo, real quick. Can we make some noise for two of our hip-hop legends that passed away this year? You know I'm talking about DMX. Y'all got love for DMX? Let me hear you make some noise. Yeah. What about Shock G? Y'all got love for Shock G? Let me hear you make some noise. Okay.
So musically, it all started back in 2000, roughly about 2004, 2005. I used to like to write poems, musical poems. So at the time, I didn't really consider them songs because I wasn't writing them to music. It was just more thoughts in my head, jotting stuff down. Got to the point where I got confident enough to start putting them to beats that I would download, you know, for free, or I should say still, off of LimeWire, and, you know, Napster was another one. So I used to just download, you know, popular beats from that time and just write songs to them, man. So it wasn't until later that year, one of my cousins had ended up passing away. She was killed in a drunk driving accident, and I had wrote a song for her. She was really close to me, by the way. That was one of my closest cousins growing up, and she was playing soccer in college, so you know, she had a bright future ahead of her. She was still in her 20s, so very tragic for not only myself but our family. So fast forward to her funeral, showed it to a couple people in the family, and they thought it was a really nice song. Had no idea what I was doing as far as recording. Just found a little, those old school computer microphones, put a sock around it, taped it, and put the beat on from once again another free recording program that I had downloaded, and just spit it. And I mean, it was raw. You know, pops everywhere, and didn't know anything about EQ, mastering, none of that stuff. So anyways, they played it at the funeral. Little did I know, some of my other cousins, my older cousins, I have a huge family. So when I say I didn't really, you know, hang out with them, you're thinking, well, that's your family, didn't you grow up with them? Well, our family is huge. So knew of them, had seen them at family events, you know, here and there, but I did not grow up with them. So it wasn't until this moment they heard the song, and I didn't know, but they were doing their own thing musically. They had already been touring, Then they had a crew named Empire Nation, doing songs or doing shows everywhere in Colorado, all the way to New Mexico, Arizona, and all the surrounding states within our region. So they showed me some of their stuff. They told me they liked my song. You know, it was pretty raw, but I had talent. So from that moment on, they invited me to a show in La Junta. Took a road trip up there, and I needed that at that time, man. It was kind of a dark time. Not only did my cousin pass away, but I had also just got in trouble with the police for shooting a paintball gun at the cops. I didn't know there was cops in the car. I thought it was just a parked cop car. Drinking with some friends, so one of my friends ended up getting a DUI. Just a bad situation, man. I was headed down a really ugly path and was kind of snowballing. So when they took me in, went to this show, and from that moment on, it was a wrap. I asked them, you know, if I could continue to come to like studio sessions, record with them. They started teaching me the ropes, teaching me how to not stare at the floor when performing, you know, how to project my voice, how to emphasize on certain words on songs. So they really honed my talent and said, yeah, you may have talent, but this is kind of how you do things, both on stage and in the studio. So I learned a lot very quickly. You know, was still like a couple more months left in high school, ended up graduating, and then that summer just started doing shows with them. So straight from the age of 18 moving forward, I was already in it. And it didn't really have to start, hold on, let me rephrase that. In the sense, didn't have to start where a lot of artists start, where they don't know anybody, they don't, you know, they kind of have to literally start from nothing. Though they were doing shows and, you know, knew a lot of people in the city and were really kind of well known. I did not get put on shows right away. It took about a year or so. And if I did get put on shows, it was definitely the smaller shows that, you know, maybe had 10, 15, 20 people. And I was definitely going on first or second. I wasn't going on at 10:30, 11:30, midnight when, you know, the club is packed and people are there. So I had to, yes, though the exposure and knowing everyone and having DJs and promoters and everything right there at your fingertips, I don't want to make it seem like I just started off right away. I had to learn and observe, and that's what I did. I just learned. I was like a sponge, just soaking up everything that they were doing, and to where when it was my turn and I was able to, you know, do my thing, I was ready to go.
Keep that on the low, though. She said that we was Gucci, we just keep it in the sheets. I want it all. Money, fast cars, and broads. All the women across the world screaming. I want it all.